Backstories Podcast.
All right, so today we're diving deep into the world of Ciara, using her Wikipedia article from November 19th, 2024. This isn't just going to be another biography, though.
No, not at all.
We're going to uncover some hidden gems about her career and just go way beyond those top hits everyone knows and loves.
You know, what's really fascinating is that Ciara's journey starts way before Goodies. I think a lot of people kind of forget that.
Oh, yeah.
She was actually a really talented songwriter.
Oh, absolutely. I'm totally with you there. I mean, before her own album even came out, she was already writing for, like, Blue Cantrell, Fantasia Barrino.
Yep.
Can you imagine having 10,000 times and Got Me Waiting on your resume before you're even, like, a household name?
I know, right?
Yeah.
And those tracks were huge.
Huge.
And, you know, they weren't just hits. They actually kind of foreshadow some of the stuff that she does later in her own music.
Oh, interesting.
Like if you listen to Got Me Waiting, you can hear that same blend of vulnerability and strength.
Yeah.
That kind of defines a lot of her ballads later on.
You're right. I never made that connection before. So she's honing her craft and kind of like laying the groundwork for her own style.
Exactly.
That's clever.
Yeah.
Now, before we get to Goodies, though,
Yeah.
I heard this crazy fact about Ciara's childhood. Is it true she was an army brat?
Yeah, she was.
What?
They moved all over the place. Georgia, New York, Utah,
Wow.
California, Arizona, Nevada.
That's like a cross-section of American culture right there.
I know.
Wow, that is a lot of moving around.
It is.
It makes me wonder, do you think that being exposed to so many different places shaped her music? Like, do you think she picked up different influences?
Oh, absolutely. Think about those early years in Atlanta,
Yeah.
the birthplace of crunk music.
Yeah.
And you can hear that
Yeah.
raw energy,
Totally.
you know, in her early hits.
Yeah.
Then she spends her teenage years in California soaking up those West Coast vibes.
Yeah.
So you can definitely hear those influences
Yeah.
in her later albums where she starts experimenting with more, you know, pop dance sounds.
You know what? That makes so much sense. It's like her music is a tapestry woven from all those different experiences.
Right.
And it's not just the sound either. She's got this fearlessness to try new things.
Yeah.
Maybe that comes from, you know, adapting to new environments all the time.
I think so. That constant change probably instilled this sense of adventure, this openness to exploring different artistic avenues.
Right.
Now, another interesting detail is that her name actually comes from the Revlon fragrance,
Wait, seriously?
Ciara, launched in 1973.
That is almost poetic.
I know.
Considering she later became a global brand ambassador for Revlon, it's like it was meant to be.
I know, right?
It's crazy.
It's so fascinating, these little connections
Yeah.
that you uncover
Yeah.
when you really delve into someone's story. But let's jump ahead to 2004. The year Ciara truly burst onto the scene with Goodies.
Oh, yeah, Goodies. That album wasn't just a hit. It was a cultural moment.
Yeah.
You know, topping the charts, establishing her as the, first lady of crunk&B.
Yes.
Those tracks, Goodies, 1 2 Step, oh,
Yeah.
they were everywhere. Every party, every club, every radio station, you couldn't escape it.
Absolutely.
It was huge.
It was that perfect kind of fusion of crunk and R&B.
Right.
But what made Ciara stand out was her unique take on it.
Oh, okay.
Her vocals were so smooth, so melodic. And that was a really interesting contrast to the often harsher,
Yeah.
more aggressive style of crunk music.
So she brought a different kind of energy to it.
Exactly.
Like a mix of sweetness and swagger.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And that's what made her so appealing to a wide audience.
Yeah.
She could go toe-to-toe with the guys on those hard-hitting beats, but also bring that feminine sensuality. That was all her own.
Right.
And plus, let's not forget the record-breaking success of Goodies,
Oh, yeah.
the title track.
That was huge.
Longest-running, #1 debut single by a female artist since 1977.
Talk about making a statement.
I know, right?
Wow.
It shows how much her music resonated with people. You know,
Yeah.
she arrived at a time when urban music was kind of exploding into the mainstream.
Yeah.
And she rode that wave perfectly.
Yeah.
Think about Usher,
Yeah.
Outkast,
Yeah.
Missy Elliott.
Right.
They were all redefining the sound of pop music.
Totally.
And Ciara became a key part of that movement.
Absolutely. So she's riding high on the success of Goodies.
Mm-hmm.
But what I find really impressive is that she doesn't just stick with that formula.
Yeah.
She starts experimenting with her sound pretty quickly, right?
You're exactly right. Instead of just, repeating what worked, she had this drive to evolve, to explore different musical landscapes.
Yeah.
And that's where her next few albums take some really interesting turns.
So we talked about her influences and the amazing debut, but I'm really curious about how Ciara's sound evolved after Goodies.
Well, her second album, Ciara, The Evolution, is a great example. Well, it still had those crunk&B elements, you know. She started incorporating more like pop and straight-up R&B influences.
Yeah.
Promise is a perfect example.
Okay.
You hear those layered harmonies, the smoother production, and a more mature vocal performance.
Yeah, and that song went #1 on the R&B charts.
Yes.
So she's evolving, but still connecting with, like, her core audience.
Exactly.
But then Fantasy Ride takes things in a completely different direction, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Fantasy Ride is where she really kind of lets loose and experiments with different genres. You've got electropop on tracks like Work, futuristic R&B on Love, Sex, Magic with Justin Timberlake.
Oh, yeah.
And even a bit of rock influence on Never Ever.
Interesting.
Some critics argued that the album lacked cohesiveness.
Yeah.
But I think it showcases her willingness to take risks and push boundaries.
Yeah, you know, some people might see that experimentation as a sign of uncertainty.
Right.
Like she's trying to figure out her sound. But to me, it shows confidence. Like she's saying, I can do it all, and I'm not afraid to show you.
I completely agree. It's that fearlessness that sets her apart.
Yeah.
She's not content to stay in one lane. She wants to explore all the possibilities.
Yeah.
Even if not every experiment is a home run, it contributes to her growth as an artist.
For sure. Okay, so we've got this evolution happening musically, but at the same time, she's building a career that goes way beyond music. You know, we touched on her acting, modeling, and even her business ventures.
Right.
I'm curious, do you see those different aspects of her career as separate things, or do they all feed into each other somehow?
That's a really insightful question.
Thanks.
I think for Ciara, it's all interconnected. Her music is her foundation, but she uses it as a platform to explore other passions and connect with her audience in different ways.
Right.
For example, her appearances in films like All You've Got and Mama, I Want to Sing allowed her to showcase her acting skills and reach a wider audience.
And then you've got her modeling career. I mean, that deal with IMG is no joke.
No.
Plus, she's the global brand ambassador for Revlon, which ties back to her name origin in the coolest way.
I know, right?
Do you think those ventures helped shape her image and brand?
Absolutely. They reinforce this image of Ciara as multi-talented, stylish, and powerful woman. And let's not forget her entrepreneurial side.
Oh, right.
She co-owns the Seattle Sounders FC with her husband, Russell Wilson.
Wow.
That's a major power move.
It is. It's amazing to see how she's leveraged her success in music to create opportunities in other fields. It speaks to her ambition and, you know, her business savvy.
Yeah.
And it all seems to tie back to this theme of empowerment,
Yeah.
which really comes to the forefront with her 2018 hit Level Up.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Level Up is more than just a song. It's like a mantra. It's about self-improvement, pursuing your goals, not settling for less than you deserve.
Right.
The fact that it went viral, sparked a dance challenge, and was even used in a political campaign shows how deeply that message resonated with people.
It's interesting because Level Up came after a period where she faced some professional setbacks. Her fourth album didn't perform as well as her previous ones, and she went through some label changes.
Right.
Yet she comes back with this anthem of resilience and self-belief. Do you think that personal experience influenced the song's message?
I think it definitely played a role. Level Up feels like a declaration of her own personal growth and a message of encouragement to others who might be facing similar challenges.
Yeah.
It's like she's saying, I've been through it, but I'm coming out stronger on the other side. And you can too.
That's powerful. And it's not just talk. She walks the walk. She's involved in some pretty serious philanthropy, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
She's a strong advocate for Stand Up to Cancer and deeply involved with the Why Not You Foundation, which she runs with Russell Wilson. Their focus is on empowering youth and creating opportunities for those who might not otherwise have them.
It's inspiring to see how they use their platform to give back and make a real difference. And it all connects back to that idea of leveling up, not just personally, but as a community.
Exactly. For Ciara, success isn't just about individual achievement. It's about lifting others up and creating positive change in the world.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about Ciara's evolution as an artist and a businesswoman. But what about Ciara, the person? What drives her? What are her values?
Well, one thing that stands out is the importance of family.
Oh, yeah.
She's incredibly close to her parents
Mm-hmm.
and has spoken about how they instilled in her the values of hard work, perseverance, and faith.
Mm-hmm.
And now, as a mother of 4, her family is clearly her top priority.
She often talks about how motherhood has changed her perspective and given her a new sense of purpose.
Absolutely. She sees her children as her greatest inspiration and wants to be a positive role model for them. And that desire to inspire extends beyond her own family. Remember her alter ego, Super C?
Oh, yeah. That's her inner superhero, right?
Yeah.
The one who takes the stage and commands the audience with those incredible dance moves.
Exactly. But Super C is more than just a stage persona.
Okay.
She represents Ciara's inner strength and her belief in the power of dreams. It's like she's saying, we all have a Super C inside of us, and we can tap into that power to achieve anything we set our minds to.
That's such a cool concept. It's like she's using her platform to encourage others to embrace their own inner strength and go after their goals.
Mm-hmm.
But before we move on, I can't resist going back to her music for a minute. We talked about her influences, but what about her own unique style? What sets her apart as a dancer?
Well, she's known for her incredible athleticism and precision.
Mm-hmm.
She's trained in various dance styles from ballet to hip-hop.
Wow.
And she incorporates those influences into her choreography. But what really makes her stand out is her ability to blend power and grace.
Yeah, she's got this amazing ability to move effortlessly between, sharp, hard-hitting moves and fluid, sensual ones.
Exactly. And she's not afraid to push the boundaries.
Yeah.
Remember the Fader article?
Yeah.
They described her as a tomboyish, androgynous alternative to her peers, paving the way for artists like Lady Gaga and Beyoncé to experiment with those gender-bending looks in choreography.
That's so true. She's always been ahead of the curve when it comes to style and pushing those creative boundaries.
Absolutely.
You know what? It's clear she's inspired countless other artists.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We've talked about how she's been influenced by artists like Janet Jackson and Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
But it's amazing to see how she's in turn influenced the next generation of musicians.
Yeah, it really is. And it goes beyond just inspiring, dance crazes.
Yeah.
A ton of artists have actually cited Ciara as a musical influence or inspiration.
That's really cool.
From Ari Lennox to Baby Tate to Chloe X Halle.
Wow. That's quite a list.
Yeah. And it's not just limited to the U.S., right? I've even heard, international acts like South Korea's Girls' Generation mention her as an influence.
It's truly global.
Wow.
And what I find really fascinating is that she's impacted not just, R&B artists,
right,
but those who blend genres,
mm-hmm.
pop, dance, even K-pop.
Yeah.
And that speaks volumes about the universality of her music.
It does.
And how she really transcends those genre boundaries.
Yeah. It seems like her style, her sound, her energy just resonate on a deeper level with so many artists.
Absolutely. It's more than just the music. It's her whole artistic vision.
Yeah.
That fusion of dance, fashion, visual artistry.
Yeah.
She's been credited with really pushing the boundaries in those areas.
Yeah.
And setting a new standard for what a female artist can achieve.
And she's never been afraid to, speak her mind and stand up for herself.
Oh, yeah.
Remember when Vibe magazine airbrushed her clothes off for a cover?
I remember that.
She called them out.
Yeah.
Publicly criticized them for disrespecting her image.
That took guts.
It did.
Especially at a time when women in the industry were often pressured to conform to certain expectations.
Exactly. And that fearlessness,
Mm-hmm.
that commitment to authenticity has clearly inspired others.
Oh, yeah.
K. Michelle and Summer Walker both released songs titled Ciara's Prayer,
Wow.
inspired by her journey of finding love and happiness after heartbreak.
That's amazing. It's amazing how her story has resonated so deeply with both fans and fellow artists.
Yeah.
It's a testament to her genuine personality.
Yeah.
She's not just a performer. She's a real person.
Yeah.
Who's gone through ups and downs, and people connect with that vulnerability.
Absolutely. She's never tried to hide the challenges she's faced.
No.
Instead, she uses them as fuel to level up, to grow, and to inspire others to do the same.
Precisely. And it's not just about personal growth. It's about using her platform for good.
Right.
Her work with the Why Not You Foundation is a prime example of that.
Absolutely. Their work on, empowering youth creating opportunity. It's truly inspiring.
Yeah.
And they're walking the walk, not just talking the talk.
No.
I mean, they even wrote a children's book
I know.
called Why Not You?
Yes.
To encourage kids to dream big and pursue their passions.
It's incredible to see how they're using their influence to create positive change.
Yeah.
And speaking of influence,
Yeah.
let's not forget their impact on the business world,
Oh, right.
becoming part owners of the Seattle Sounders FC.
Yeah.
Bold move.
It was a bold move.
I mean,
Totally. And it's not just about owning a sports team.
right.
It's about being part of a community and using that platform to make a difference.
Exactly. They're also making waves in the fashion industry
Oh, yeah.
with their brand, the House of LR&C, which merges style with purpose. You know, it's about conscious consumerism, sustainability, and giving back.
It all ties back to that level up mentality.
It does.
They're constantly pushing boundaries and redefining what it means to be successful in the entertainment industry and beyond.
And that's what makes Ciara such a compelling figure.
Yeah.
You know, she's not just an entertainer.
Yeah.
She's a businesswoman.
Yeah.
A philanthropist, a role model, and a force to be reckoned with.
She's a reminder that we can achieve incredible things when we combine, talent, hard work, and a genuine desire to make a positive impact on the world.
Absolutely. As we wrap up this deep dive,
Yeah.
it's clear that Ciara is a true icon.
Yeah.
Her story is far from over,
No, not at all.
and I have a feeling she's just getting started.
I can't wait to see what she does next. But one thing's for sure.
Yeah.
No matter what challenges she faces, she'll always find a way to level up.
So keep an eye on Ciara, because she's proof positive that anything is possible if you dare to ask why not you.
Backstories Podcast.